winning the boards by 10 is a really strong effort. The turnovers in the first half were untimely and ugly. In the second half, we cleaned it up a lot, so that was really good. Just another game that tests your mettle as a group of staying together. And they got that's a very good team. It's a very talented team. Simons was a flamethrower tonight, and so we were dealing with a lot of different stuff. But Tyrese was great. Pascal was great. Miles Turner, didn't have a huge night statistically, but his defense, particularly in the pick and roll against Simons in the fourth quarter, I think Simons only had 2 points in the fourth quarter, was very important. So hats off to him, and have a nice holiday tomorrow, hopefully, and then get ready for Friday. I mean, Detroit's coming in here 2-0 in the Cup, controlling their destiny every bit of the way, and so Friday's game is a Cup game, and it has extra juice to it, and we need to understand that going into it.
You already mentioned turnovers, but down 10 early in the second, 9 by about halfway through. What was key in your eyes to turning things around and getting ahead in the second half?
Just playing more of a clean game, less fouls, less turnovers, less missed blockouts. Possession of the ball in a game like this is very important. I mean, Portland does a lot of their stuff playing to the last 10 or 12 seconds of the clock, and so they get you because playing 24 seconds on defense is not easy, and that's where teams break down. And so this, at halftime we talked about it. We needed to be steadfast, and we needed to be able to sustain our concentration through possessions. And the 25-point third quarter was obviously a big key to that.
A lot of ball screens from Pascal to Tyrese late. How have you seen their two-man game evolve since the January trade to get Pascal here?
Yeah, it's evolved a great deal, and they do a lot of different things out of it. There's screening, there's pitching, there's cutting. There's small on big ball screening. Pascal's a very unique player there. So there's a lot of diversity in the possibilities that those two guys have, and then the rest of it is just making sure the other guys are spaced right, and so it was it's down the stretch. It was the game is so competitive now and it's so physical. A lot of it has a look of being a little ugly because people are draped all over people, and the officiating is different now, and so but they did a good job of finding the openings and making the plays.
Not long ago we were talking about getting better connectivity out of the starting unit. You obviously went with those guys for the last 9:39, and obviously that's where you guys put the game away. I mean, how much have you seen improvement in that regard for those five guys working as a group?
Yeah, big improvements, in the last 7 days for sure. A lot better communication, a lot better connection, eye contact, acknowledgments, just all that kind of stuff. So important. There are so many events in an NBA game. There are thousands of events that happen. And so being able to go from event to event and then, being able to help each other bounce back from difficult events that happen, in real time so quickly is really important. And, our crowd was great tonight. They were consistent. They were loud. That was key. And then, we just had a lot of guys step up at key times and make plays. Mathurin made some big shots. Ty made some big shots. Pascal did. Jackson was, getting loose balls and creating possessions, and he had a tough job chasing Simons around. So a lot going on out there, but another really important win, and nothing easy about any of it.
You mentioned Quentin. I was just going to ask about him. Obviously, another high-energy night from him to get the one block he had where, he gets way above the rim for that, and then the dunk that his head's at the rim. Just again, how cool is it to see just him continue to build and just make plays like that?
Yeah, he's become a crowd favorite, obviously. Indiana fans appreciate anybody that plays with that, unbridled energy, effort, all those things. And he plays with personality. He's a likable guy. He's a likable player. And, we're taking him on a two-way contract and put him on the other team's best perimeter player every night. And there's nothing easy about that.
How do you think Bennedict helped you all just stay connected there, especially in the second half when it got a little, a little bit away from you all, but help you just keep hold of the rope?
Well, he hit a couple of timely shots, late clock. First half was a little bit. I've been using the word arrhythmic recently. It was, and then we ran a couple of actions for him, and he banged in 2 threes in a row, and I felt like that got him going, and into the groove. And again, looking here at his rebounds, the guy led us in rebounds at 10 rebounds tonight. So he's contributing in a lot of ways, and he's taken on a tough matchup. Avdia is one of the toughest guys to guard full court, coast to coast, and he did a very admirable job keeping him in front. So, Ben continues to build, and he almost played 40 minutes. It's hard getting him out of the game.
I think we just played the right way. We started focusing on, the rebound and the ball, stop turning the ball over, and taking care of the ball and making simple plays.
What have you seen of the Haliburton-Siakam two-man game since Pascal got here in January, and how it's kind of grown with this team?
It's been good. It's been working. They're two great players, and I feel like they both can make things happen, and they did. They do it mostly every night. So it's a great thing for the team, and as long as it works, we should keep it going.
Rick said he felt like things turned for you a bit in the third quarter when he called 2 plays for you and you hit 2 jumpers. What does it mean when, 1, plays are called for you and you succeed, and 2, they go in and you can see kind of confidence build from those moments?
That's a great question. I just feel like if it works, it works. You guys got to keep going. And sometimes I have, games which are not, my game, and I just feel like, maybe it's something that we could rely on, get one play and just keep focusing on trying to put myself in the game, but the most important thing is to win. I was able to have my team win tonight, and that's all that matters.
You mentioned rebound 10 for you tonight individually. I know you talked before about believing that's something you need to get a lot better at. I mean, what do you think you've done so well to sustain it? That you, especially since you've been in the starting lineup, you've had a sustained stretch of rebounding the ball well.
I just trying to use my my ability to rebound. I feel like I've been in situations where I've been able to rebound the ball, but also help my team. It's hard for Miles to get a lot of rebounds because he has to take the big out. So it creates space for me to take the rebound, and I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job. And I'm really just trying to keep it going.
I think it was a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, Rick was talking about needing to get the starting lineup more connected. That it wasn't very connected at this point. Obviously, you guys all, I think everybody's plus 13 or better tonight. You guys combined for a whole lot of points. Where do you think you guys have improved there to become more connected as a group, as a starting unit?
Just doing the right things. We have to be connected. It's a different lineup, different guys, and but meaning different guys means different abilities and different weaknesses. We have to be able to acknowledge that and just try to make the best out of it.
Bennedict, you mentioned the notion of trying to put yourself into the game. What's the process been like to realize it's not always scoring? Like, you've been that scorer your entire life, but what's that process been like for you personally?
It's been great. I mean, shooting the ball. I was shooting the ball 56%, 46 from the 3, and had a little bit of, shooting slump. It just kind of helped me realize that I'm in a game and I can do other things than just scoring. Whether it's being there for my teammate, and like I said, the most important thing is to win and doing the other things, pretty much going to help us win whether it's stealing the ball, being there for a rebound, or even picking up my teammates, off the ground. Those little things play a big part in winning.
You talk about little things. What does Quentin Jackson mean to this team? Hey, a couple big things tonight, block,
Sure.
dunk, but just
Yeah.
that energy that he gives you all.
Oh, this guy is great, man. I'm super happy that he's shining right now. He didn't get an opportunity. As soon as guys went down, I told him this is an opportunity for you to go out there and prove that you deserve, to be, on the roster and meaningful to the team. So I feel like he's taking that to the heart. But he works super hard, man. This is my guy. So I'm really, really happy for him, and I hope he keeps the same mentality.
Yeah, that night after the game, my nose was giving me some problems, and I was just really sensitive to the touch. And I just know Portland's a very physical team, and I know if I got hit in my nose, it would hurt pretty bad. So we had a discussion before the game that it'd probably be best if I wore a mask. But it wasn't mandatory. It was more my choice. After they wanted me to shoot with it, and I felt fine. And I'm sure most people had a over-under on how long it would take for me to take it off. But once it came off, I felt good.
You kept waving for your face. Could you not see perfectly with it?
No, I felt fine. It's just, getting it to sit right and, strapped on right. It was just bothering me a little bit, but, we persevere.
Late, you and Pascal out of him screening for you or vice versa. How has that two-man game for you guys evolved, even just since he got here in January?
Yeah, just figuring out how to close games, what's the right way, to go get buckets, to figure it out, whatever that matchup is. And if we're pitching, if we're screening, just trying to play the right way. And I thought we did a great job of mixing it in. And he was unbelievable tonight. So a lot of times it's about him getting the switch. If he's got a smaller guy, him to shoot over him. He's just obviously an amazing player in that mid-post. So I think that was the biggest thing, was just keep giving him the ball in space and let him work.
Rick was obviously, it was a week or so ago, was talking about the starting five need to be more connected. Obviously, I think all of you guys, most of you are plus 17 or better today, and you guys most of the points together. I think Pascal was obviously out there for the bench, but he's plus one. But how far do you feel like you guys have come as far as being a connected unit, and what do you think has led to that?
Yeah, it just takes some time. Obviously, this isn't a lineup that's ever really played together. So just figuring it all out, rotations and all those kind of things, just figuring out how we can approach the game the right way. And obviously with guys like Bennedict Pascal, who score the ball at such a high rate, and, as well as Miles, everybody's just picking their spots and trying to play the game the right way. I thought we did a great job of doing that today, and Quinn stepped up and helped that group as well. And obviously we're missing, Drew and AA, who are more mainstays in that group, but it's a next man up mentality, and whenever those guys come back and however the lineups change, we have to be prepared to approach those games the right way.
Just obviously considering what Quentin's given you guys all week, how cool was it to tee him up like that for that alley-oop? Just how cool was the moment?
Yeah, it's about time, right? He should have dunked the first one the first half, yeah, no, it's cool to see, man. Like I said, good things happen to good people. He plays the game the right way, doesn't cheat the game, and I think that's what I appreciate about him. So he's just running with me, being the athlete that he is, and just threw it up and he went and got it.
You mentioned just before, just Pascal and Bennedict. Just what's it like to kind of integrate each of those guys? I mean, there's certainly two guys that are high-level scorers, guys that get a lot done in ISO situations, guys that can kind of make you right when you're wrong, but when you're trying to work that into this offense the way it works, what's the challenges there, and what do you think you've done well to get situations where each of those guys are being productive?
Well, I think they're both such elite ISO guys, right? And the way that we play isn't very ISO heavy by any means. We're playing live, moving the ball live, everybody's getting touches. But I think they're picking their spots at an elite level right now. I think both those guys can score against anybody in a one-on-one situation, and we just want to get the ball moving side to side, keep attacking the paint, and then let them do their thing. So, I mean, it's all part of it. Just figuring each other out. It just takes some time, obviously. Me, Pascal, and Ben and Miles, for that matter, didn't play a ton together last year because Ben got hurt. So everybody's just figuring out their spots right now, and that's just part of basketball. And I think the best thing for us right now is just playing the right way. It could be anybody's night on any given night. We're not really concerned with that by any means. Just trying to play the game the right way. And you look at our first group, and I feel like we played probably
our best game as a unit this year, maybe.
Is the mask gone forever, or?
Yeah. It's not coming back on. Hopefully, a couple more days. It stops hurting so much, but yeah. I hope I never have to see that one again.
Saw the corner three, you getting hyped up with the fans, and I've seen you show emotion before, but what is that line when you're in the game between emotion and, I guess, staying focused on the game as well?
Well, yeah, I think in that moment, I just assumed that they were calling a timeout, so I turned for a second because I was a little worried that I wasn't going to get back on defense. But I think that's part of the game of basketball, man. It's entertainment. We got a lot of people who spend their hard-earned money to come watch us play, and they appreciate interactions. They appreciate playing the game the right way, and that goes both ways. We appreciate the love and the support and the accountability that they have for us at the same time. So this is part of fun of the game, and just enjoying hoops.
Miles cracked 1,300 blocks today, 4,000 rebounds. A lot of dirty work involved in those types of plays.
Yeah.
What does he mean to his franchise?
Yeah, a mainstay of this organization. Been here for a decade now, and the plan is to keep it moving forward. So that's just a kudos to the work he puts in on a daily basis, and he's went through a lot in his time here, and his role has changed a lot. But he's stayed with it and been a great leader and a great person for this organization. So that's really cool to see. I didn't know that. That's a really cool accomplishment. And I hope that I'm with him for a lot more moving forward.
Rick's talked about how you've improved defensively this year. What are you seeing differently out there, and what do you think you've done to improve this year defensively?
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. I think it's no secret that end of game I'm going to be called into a lot of action. I mix in a lot of shows. Just mix in different things defensively. How can I get out of this the screen early and send somebody else up? And I think just trying to do a good job of staying in front, showing my hands, and making guys just shoot over me. I mean, I can live with guys shooting mid-range jumpers or floaters. I think just the blow-bys are where I need to get better. But I think it's just it's all part of it, the growth, and really the best teacher for me has just been experience. The best teacher for me has been playing in as many games as possible, playing Boston so much because they never stop, and just experimenting with it, and obviously getting stronger, all those type of things, maturing and stuff like that. But it's not a linear growth pattern by any means, right? I have good games, bad games, all part of it, but just trying to do as good a job as I can. And I've had some. With Drew being out, we've had some good back and forth. So he holds me accountable, but I make sure that he knows when I get a stop. So it's part of just me being a competitor.